They seem to navigate the volatile market with a sense of calm and purpose, achieving success where others struggle. But what exactly makes these crypto investors better? Hello and welcome. I'm Bravio, and today we're diving deep into the world of crypto investors to uncover the traits and strategies that set the best apart from the rest. This isn't just about numbers and graphs. It's about mindset, resilience, and a bit of vulnerability, because I've been there too, navigating the ups and downs of this unpredictable market. Let's start with the foundation: research and analysis. The best crypto investors don't just stumble upon success. They spend countless hours researching projects, reading white papers, and understanding the technology and team behind a cryptocurrency. It's not glamorous work, but it's crucial. I remember my early days in crypto, staying up late, devouring every piece of information I could find. It was exhausting, but it paid off. I discovered projects early that are now household names in the crypto world. One of the first projects I came across was Ethereum. I was intrigued by its potential and the vision of a decentralized world computer. This wasn't just about buying a coin. It was about believing in the technology and its potential to change the world. But research alone isn't enough. Risk management is what separates the good from the great. Diversifying portfolios, setting stop-loss orders, these are the strategies that protect investments from major downturns. I learned this the hard way. Early on, I put a significant portion of my funds into a single promising project. When the market turned, I lost a substantial amount. It was a painful lesson, but it taught me the importance of diversification. Now, I spread my investments across multiple projects and always set stop-loss orders to protect my investments from drastic declines. Staying informed is another key factor. The crypto market moves fast, and the best investors are always up to date with the latest news and trends. Whether it's regulatory changes, technological advancements, or market sentiment, they know about it. For me, this meant setting aside time every day to read, watch, and learn. I joined communities, attended webinars, and followed industry leaders on social media. It wasn't just about keeping up. It was about staying ahead. I remember waking up early to catch up on news from different time zones and engaging in late-night discussions with fellow enthusiasts from around the world. This constant flow of information helped me make informed decisions and stay ahead of the curve. But perhaps the most defining trait of successful crypto investors is their long-term vision. They don't get swayed by short-term volatility. Instead, they focus on the long-term potential of their investments. I remember the 2018 crash vividly. It was brutal, and many people panicked, but those with a long-term vision held on. They believed in the underlying technology and waited it out. Today, many of those who held on have seen incredible returns. During that period, I kept reminding myself of the fundamental reasons why I invested in the first place: the technology, the potential for disruption, and the vision of a decentralized future. It wasn't easy, but maintaining that long-term perspective helped me stay focused and not get swayed by the daily market fluctuations. Emotional control is another crucial aspect. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement or fear, but the best investors stay calm and rational. They make decisions based on logic, not emotions. I'll be honest, this was one of the hardest lessons for me. I've made impulsive decisions driven by fear and greed, and they rarely ended well. Learning to control my emotions was a game changer. It allowed me to think clearly and make better decisions. One particular instance stands out. There was a sudden dip in the market and I panicked, selling off a portion of my holdings at a loss. Just a few days later, the market rebounded, and I realized I had acted out of fear rather than logic. Since then, I've practiced mindfulness and meditation to keep my emotions in check and approach trading with a clear mind. Networking and community engagement also play a vital role. The best investors are often part of crypto communities, where they share knowledge, insights, and support each other. I've met some of the smartest people through these communities. They've taught me so much and helped me see different perspectives. It's a reminder that we're all in this together, and there's always something new to learn. I remember attending my first crypto meetup. I was nervous, but I ended up meeting like-minded individuals who shared their experiences and insights. These interactions opened up new opportunities and helped me stay informed about emerging trends and projects. Being part of a community not only provided valuable knowledge, but also offered a support system during challenging times. Learning from mistakes is another critical trait. No one gets it right all the time, but the best investors learn from their errors and adjust their strategies accordingly. I've made plenty of mistakes, and each one taught me something valuable. It's about having the humility to acknowledge your errors and the determination to improve. That's what makes a good investor great. One mistake I vividly remember was getting caught up in the hype of an ICO. I invested heavily without doing thorough research, only to see the project fail spectacularly. It was a hard lesson, but it reinforced the importance of due diligence and not getting swept away by hype. Each mistake became a stepping stone towards becoming a more disciplined and informed investor. Technical analysis skills are also essential. The best investors use charts and tools to make informed trading decisions. They don't rely on luck, they rely on data. It took me a while to get the hang of technical analysis, but once I did, it made a huge difference. Understanding patterns, trends, and signals gave me the confidence to make better trades. I spent hours learning about candlestick patterns, support and resistance levels, and various technical indicators. These skills allowed me to anticipate market movements and make more informed trading decisions. It's like having a toolkit that helps you navigate the complexities of the market with greater precision. Security practices are another crucial aspect. The best investors know how to secure their digital assets, using hardware wallets, two-factor authentication, and other measures. I've heard too many horror stories of people losing their investments to hacks and scams. I learned early on the importance of security, and it's something I take very seriously. I remember the sinking feeling when I first heard about a major exchange being hacked. It made me realize the importance of taking control of my own security. I invested in a hardware wallet, enabled two-factor authentication on all my accounts, and became vigilant about phishing attempts. Protecting your investments is paramount in the crypto world, and it's a lesson I prioritize every day. Adaptability is the final piece of the puzzle. The crypto market is constantly changing, and the best investors are flexible and willing to adjust their strategies based on new information. I've had to pivot my approach multiple times as the market evolved. It's about staying flexible and open-minded. Stubbornness can be costly in this fast-paced world. One instance that stands out was the rise of decentralized finance, DeFi. Initially, I was skeptical, but as I learned more and saw the potential, I adjusted my strategy to include DeFi projects in my portfolio. This adaptability allowed me to capitalize on new opportunities and stay ahead of market trends. So, what makes the best crypto investors better? It's a combination of thorough research, smart risk management, staying informed, maintaining a long-term vision, controlling emotions, engaging with the community, learning from mistakes, honing technical skills, prioritizing security, and staying adaptable. It's not an easy path, but it's a rewarding one. I've learned these lessons through experience, and I hope you find them valuable on your journey. Remember, every mistake is a lesson, and every success is a result of hard work and perseverance. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more insights. Together, let's navigate the world of crypto and achieve success. See you in the next video.